to have access to countless numbers of black children over the years and decades. I can't to have a seat at the dinner table, metaphorically speaking. When I call parents, I am as comfortable as possible with those parents. I let those parents know that while the kids are in my classroom, they're in my care, and they're my children. Just like my son, I would like his teacher to be the same way with him as I am with students. And a lot of parents have really, okay, we got so much better. A lot of parents, a lot of parents have really praised me on my rapport with students. Even my staff members are, they ask questions about that too. How do you do it? Well, first of all, embrace the kids as if they're yours and actually co-parent with the parent. When you talk to the parent, don't talk to the parent as if it's their problem. No, talk to the parent as if it's your issue to get the student together. Work together with the parent. And that's the secret to my success. And being able to be connected to all these kids, yeah, that's Mr. Gathers. I mean, there's been times where I've had my young lady students say, hey, this is my boyfriend that I'm talking to, or my fiance, and the young man would, be very presentable and respectful. Yes, sir. How are you doing, sir? And I would kind of give my little nod of approval, or parents would give me updates. I ran into a parent recently, and they gave me an update on their son. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing being connected to all these kids, like a tree and roots, Teaching also provides an opportunity for black men to be positive role models for black children. Now, my second or third year of teaching, we had some rappers come into the building, and the kids flooded the stage, right? They were all up in them rappers' faces and all that. And these rappers were talking about some cash trash, as my dad would say. And this other teacher looked at me and said, you know what's messed up? I said, what? He said, the fact that these kids look to these guys as heroes, and we're sitting right here in this building. And he was right. Black male teachers are cool. Black male teachers are smooth. Black male teachers got it going on, and we are, in fact, positive role models. Because there's a moral code that teachers have. And the fact that a kid, whether they're black or white or whatever, can look on TV and see, okay, all this negative stuff about black men, but they can go to their classroom and see a positive example. That's beautiful. I had a student come to me and say, Mr. Garrett, I need to talk to you about something. I said, what's up? He said, man, I had a conversation with my dad. And I looked at him. He said, my dad says the most horrible things about black people. And I said, okay. And I was waiting for him to say that his dad said something crazy about me. He said, I got friends around the corner, and my dad has a problem with playing with these black kids. He says very negative things about them. But when I come to school and I see you, it's the complete opposite of what my dad's been saying. I don't know what to do. I told him, I said, look, man, that's your daddy. Love you, daddy. But everything mom and daddy teach you ain't always correct. And he was like, you're right. I said, you're at that age now where you're starting to develop your own perspective, your own emotions, your own feelings, and your own opinions about things. And the fact that I was able to be that positive role model for him, it also helped his daddy out too, because his dad came to conferences, and everything he was saying about black folks that was negative, he saw something different when he saw me. So we are positive role models in the classroom for our kids. And for the most part, every time I've worked with other black males, we've always been very respectful, presentable. I'm going to go back to Mr. Davis, Dr. Daryl Davis. That man wore a suit every day, and he told me why he does that. And that's a private conversation between him and I, because I use that to motivate me to be, more presentable. And I can count on one hand the number of times Dr. Davis wore something outside of a suit, because he was presenting himself as that role model. My brother, Armand Carr, shirt and tie all the time. I used to be like that too until I went to a more casual setting. But I need to up that back up, because dressing the part does make a strong impact for kids. Teaching provides black men to be examples of manhood for black boys. Wow. Wow. Manhood. Now, let's be honest. The black family has been under attack for generations, for centuries. All right? You look on TV, what's the first thing you hear about black men? They're not good daddies, right? They burn out on their kids. Well, that's all wrong, because there are a lot of black men out there who are strong fathers. My grandfather, strong black father. My dad, Tyrone Classic, strong black father. Me, Tyrone Jr., strong black father. A lot of the men that I hang out with, I take that back, every man that I hang out with is a black male, are strong fathers. So the narrative that they show you on television and in the media is false. So same thing with what I said earlier, when those kids come and they see, for example, in my classroom, my kids say, hey, Mr. Gathers, can I get a Band-Aid? Or, hey, I have this problem. Or, you know, you give a kid a hug, you console a kid, or you call a kid to check on them when they're suspended. You know, that nurturing aspect, that compassion, kids like that, and they will remember that. I remember when you did this. You know, the parents remember that too. So you're showing that paternal side of men that these kids probably don't see. Now, I'll admit there are some kids who don't have father figures, or fathers. But for the most part, being a black male teacher, you are that father figure. I got a little girl, I don't know who this kid is. She's in the 6th grade. And every time she sees me, hi, Dad, I don't know her. At first, I'm like, wait a minute now. I gotta make sure, make sure she don't look like me. but she always calls me Dad, and I don't know her like that. But the fact that she sees me shining forth the light of fatherhood, that says something, you know. And my students, they see that I'm a dad too, and they love that. I think that's another secret too to my success is that, you know, I'm raising my son and I'm raising my students. The same way I am with my son, I'm with my students too. And you know, I tell my son, hey, you know, you got brothers and sisters. Really? How many? About 102. So all my students at the school are like siblings to my kid. You know, I mean, like, so at one time when I used to bring my son to school, the kids would look at him like a little brother. So, you know, I like doing that. I like letting kids see that there is a such thing as positive black men. We do exist. Doing good on time? Cool. All right. Teaching provides an opportunity for black men to be a presence in the lives of black boys that they can relate and identify with. I have a student who's, he has difficult times every now and then. And he and I, you know, I would redirect him. And you would think that he's upset, mad, and just pissed off. But like the next day he'd come to me and understand, like, yeah, you know, I understand why you did that. One time he came up to me and he was like upset and said, man, you need a hug or something? I was just being funny. He said, yeah, I really do. And he leaned over and he kind of put his head on my shoulder, and I reached over and gave him a little side hug and said, man, you gonna be all right today? He said, yeah, I will now. Like, wow. Same kid. He was gone for a little while and he told me he missed me. You know, this kid, he's pretty hard, but he told me that he missed me. You know, he missed being in my classroom, being around me. What else did he say? And I got one of my close coworkers listening in too. So if you remember anything else that the student that you and I talk about, please send it my way. As a matter of fact, she has a young man next door to her in her classroom. And I mean, like, when I first met the young man, it was like tense. But then when I would go over to the class next door and give like talks or just say what's up, you know, the young man hangs on my every word. So I gave a lesson on why black people shouldn't say the N-word. And by the time I got through, he was like, hey, I don't want to say that word no more. You really inspired me not to say it. And now he's correcting other kids on why they should or should not say it. And the fact that they made that identification with me to see how positive black men are, they're trying to prepare themselves and mold themselves to be positive black men based off of what I'm giving them. Like I told one student today, I don't mold you. I don't. I show you how to mold yourself. True education is seeing the example and learning how to do it. And I have a lot of black boys in our school building who are really starting to figure it out. So if you're ever in the neighborhood and you want to see some positive black men, you know, who are my young boys, Raytown Middle School got it going on. Next. Teaching provides an opportunity for black men to teach and demonstrate leadership for black men. Yes, although I'm not a principal, although I'm not a superintendent, I do run a classroom, and that is leadership. I'm also a coach. That is leadership. We are showing our black kids, we are showing kids in general that we can lead. Black boys can lead. Black boys can become black men who lead. Obama is not the only black man that can lead. Which he did a good job, but there are more black men that do that. I was able to see a black man lead from my grandfather and my father. So I had very strong role models when it came to leadership. Matter of fact, my dad was very influential in me going to a leadership camp for 2 summers to actually learn leadership skills that I still hold close to this day. I remember I got dropped off at the house. It was like 5 in the morning. My dad was like, "Hey, I'm gonna brew a pot of coffee. I want to hear about your trip." And here I am. I was gone for 2 weeks. Dad didn't see me in 2 weeks. I didn't see him in 2 weeks. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. But I stayed up and talked to him while he sat there and drank coffee and hung on to my every word. And that was huge for me to sit up here and hear, you know, to see someone who I admire as a leader listen to what I've learned. So, in the classroom, when black men are leading that class, or as I would say, driving the chariot of the light of education in the classroom, those students are learning by the examples of leadership. Also, I would like to say that when I make mistakes, I like my students seeing some of my mistakes because I like them to see how I deal with certain things. Everything's not a cussing match or throwing a temper tantrum or getting mad. You gotta think. And a lot of my kids have seen me outthink problems. So, and that's leadership as well too. And I also how to manage people. You know, one of my close coworkers says that we need to learn how to manage people. And being a teacher is a way to help manage people. And that's all leadership. Excuse me, gotta give me a little libation. It's water, Mr. Walker. It's not. It's not.
Good.
Yeah. All right, and someone else said I just got on my chat line. It says, and you're never afraid to apologize when you're wrong. Right. Yeah, that shows leadership too. Good leaders admit when they're wrong, and they apologize to it. The scripture today that I was reading is that when you repent, you got to have that true repentance. You know, you got to give that when you ask for forgiveness, you got to give that love and that gratitude with it. You know, show someone that you love and you respect that they forgave you, and be generous with the gratitude that they're giving you. You know, that kind of goes in with atonement as well too. And that's a sign of leadership as well also. This next one talks about mentorship. That's the same thing as well too. It says teaching also provides an opportunity for black men to engage black children in constructive, thought-provoking, and empowering conversations. Let's be honest here. I've worked in situations where I have white teachers say, I don't know how to talk to black kids. Last time I checked, they're kids too. So when you have well, they're people too. So when you have kids who are talked down to, or are pacified, or who are malnourished, well, me looking at this kid and seeing a reflection of my younger self, I can have those conversations. Hey, this is where you can improve yourself. Or, hey, if you did this, how would this outcome be? Or how can you prepare yourself to go greater than that? Or, hey, I love you, I see what you're doing, keep pushing. See, a lot of kids aren't getting that from white teachers. Let's be honest. Kids need to hear those empowering things from people who look like them as well too. Especially like, for example, if you have a small number of black children, do you think they're really getting the nourishment that they need? No. If you have a situation where you have over 50% black students, but over 90% white female teachers, are they really getting what they need? No. Representation matters. Let's see, chat line came in again. It says, the kids value that tremendously when I do that. I see them look at you like, wow. Yeah. We gotta show our human side too. Sometimes every now and then, the superhero gotta take that mask off and be human. And I think sometimes black male teachers are the most human because we go through the same stuff our students go through. For some strange reason, the administrator thinks that black men are black boys. And we talked about that too. Okay. We talked about filling in the lives. Teaching provides an opportunity for black men to be an alternative to the negative and destructive black male images that so many black children often see portrayed in the media, in some cases in their own communities. Yes, that happens a lot. Black men are a difference maker when it comes to being black male teachers. We show kids that what you see on TV is fake. What you see on TV is a lie. The truth needs no clothes. I am black, just like that individual is. However, I am walking truth. What I give is truth. We can be successful. We are successful. We are leaders. We are fathers. We are important. We are teachers. And people need to understand that black male teachers need to feel important. Not only do we need to feel important, we need to become important. Not just for Black Matters, but for what we bring to the table. Because not only do black children benefit from black male teachers, but white students and every other student benefits from it. In our school building, myself and a small group of other teachers transform the whole landscape of our building. Every year, we celebrate the culture of our students. Black History Month, we're doing things. Chinese New Year, we did activities. Hispanic Heritage Month, we did items. Next month is Women's History Month and Irish American History Month. Literally, if you are in our building and there's a month that is yours, we are celebrating it. We are celebrating you. I'm going to close with saying this. Just like children need to see themselves in that family photo. If they don't see themselves in that family photo, they make noise. And they will show you why they need to be in that photo. My sister Lene is going to be on in about 10 minutes. She said this quote that was very powerful. Yeah, it may take a village to raise a child. However, if their child is not embraced by the village, they will burn it down to get warmth. Same thing for black male teachers. Black male teacher is not important in that school building. They will leave and go where they're more needed and wanted. Now, at times, I felt like that. At times, I had to sit and remind myself that these kids need me. But it really, really wears on me. I've had kids tell me, no, you can't leave until I leave, sir, because you're the reason why I'm here. I've had so many kids say that. And this year has been hard. I've legit wanted to get up and just go. However, those kids is what's keeping me there. And the role model that I want to be for my child is keeping me there. Let's see, my chat line came in again, and it said, black male teachers also need to be in that photo as well. Yes, If you look at the school photo, figuratively and literally, I have not been in a photo. I have not. And it shows. And if I can see myself not in that photo, the students can see I'm not in that photo. And if the students see that I'm not in that photo, they start asking questions. And when they start asking questions, and they don't get the answers that they feel that they should get, their parents start asking questions. So, black male teachers are needed and wanted. We need to be at the table and in the photo, because students benefit from us just as much as any other teacher. So hopefully, if you are in the educational field and you are a black male teacher, know that I share this plight with you. I share this with you. And I also want to extend you all to go and check out The Block with Brother Cornell, because those young brothers are doing a lot for black male teachers. Also, if you are an administrator in a school district, you need to empower and hire black male teachers. Hear what they got to say. They have a voice too. In education, in the Inkwell, education is like ink. And just like ink, it overflows. Let it stain and be permanent. I will see you next week with RMS Radio for an excellent show. Thank y'all for having me. God bless.
We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights, politics, the arts, and beyond.
Yes, Virginia, there really was a Bridgerton. The Netflix series about a biracial queen has a royal underlying backstory. Sophia Charlotte, born May 19, 1744, and lived to be 74, was the queen consort of the British King George III from their marriage on September 8th in 1761 until her death in 1818. As George's wife, she was also Electress and later Queen of Hanover and Queen of America when the United States was ruled by England. On her wedding day, Charlotte spoke no English. However, she quickly learned English, albeit speaking with a strong German accent. Queen Charlotte was a direct descendant of Margarita de Castro e Souza, a black branch of the Portuguese royal house. Several de Souzas traveled to the Netherlands when their cousin, the Princess Isabella, went there to marry the Grand Duke, Philip the Good of Burgundy, in 1429. Charlotte was a patron of the arts and an amateur botanist who helped expand Kew Gardens. She was distressed by her husband's bouts of physical and mental illness, which became permanent in later life and resulted in their eldest son George's appointment as Prince Regent in 1811. George III and Charlotte had 15 children in total, 13 of whom survived to adulthood. They included 2 future British monarchs, George IV and William IV. The suggestion that Queen Charlotte was black implies that her granddaughter, Queen Victoria, and her great-great-great-great-granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II, had African forebears.
You're invited to celebrate Black History Month with TNCRadio.live. We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights, politics, the arts, and beyond.
Yes, Virginia, there really was a Bridgerton.